Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining the Public Building Commission of Chicago's WPA Street Reconstruction program for Berry Avenue, PBC contract C1619. As we get going here, if you can just please mute your computers, change your screen name to your first name, last name, and then the company name, and then add your name to the chat, please. I would appreciate it. We'll have a Q&A session at the end for everybody. As I said, we're here for the CDOT's Work Progress Administration Street Reconstruction Project located on West Berry Avenue, PBC contract C1619. This is the pre-bid and tech review meeting. Today's agenda, we'll start with some introductions, go over the procurement details, introduce our compliance team so they can detail the compliance aspect. I'll then turn it over to CDOT's partners, Civil Tech, who are the engineers of record for this project. They'll go through the tech review slides, and then we'll have a Q&A. So some introductions. My name is James Borkman with the Public Building Commission of Chicago. I also have my Deputy Director of Procurement on the phone. Patty, if you'd like to say hi.
Good morning, everyone.
We also have Minnie Keys from the Procurement Department on, and we also have Dee Taylor from the Procurement Department on.
Good morning.
Good morning. Patrice, if you'd like to introduce your team.
Good morning, Patrice Dole from PBC, and Kim and Jesse will introduce themselves. Compliance.
Good morning, Kim Smith, Compliance.
Good morning, Jesse Rodriguez, PBC Compliance.
Morning, guys. Robert, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure.
And the development team, please.
Sure. Robert Ochi, PBC.
Donna Green, PBC.
William Green, PBC.
All right, thank you. And then I think we also have Lisa Gitteroff, who is on the phone. If you want to introduce.
Good morning, Lisa Gitteroff, PBC Controls IT. Thank you.
Thank you. And then
this is Josh Zake. I just jumped in. C.RE.
Morning, Josh. If you could just update your screen name, I'd appreciate that. It's good to see you or hear you, I guess. CDOT. Okay, I'll change your name for you, or I'll have Minnie change your name for you to Josh Zaki. Thank you. CDOT, if you want to introduce yourself, Jackie.
Yes, good morning. This is Jacqueline Samuel, CDOT, and I am the WPA program manager. Thank you. And I have our CDOT design team, Tom, if you want to start. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Jackie. Tom Constantine with Civil Tech, the engineer record for the project. I believe it is just me. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, guys. And then GCs that are on the phone. I think we have FH Passion.
Yes, Jim Kowalewski, FH Passion.
Morning, Jim. And I think that takes care of everybody. We just got Nick Vanderswan in. He's also with Civil Tech. Is there any other subcontractor or supplier or anyone that I missed? Okay. Well, welcome, everyone. We'll get started with the procurement details for this project. Again, this is the Berry Avenue project. It's located on the north side from North Narragansett, on Berry Avenue from North Narragansett to North Melvina. The general scope of work includes earth excavation, Portland cement concrete base course, a hot mix asphalt surface course, sewer main, water main, and drainage structures, a concrete curb and gutter aspect, concrete sidewalks with the tactile detectable warning surface system for ADA curb ramps, the concrete driveways and alleys, roadway lighting, thermoplastic pavement markings, signs, and then the associated work, topsoil, sodding, and tree removal and planting. As a reminder, and as noted in the information to bidders, our book 1, the contractor will be required to prepare a phasing and logistics plan for review and approval by CDOT and the PBC prior to any mobilization or commencement of the work. As we look at what the project overview entails, we have some time of completion requirements that you should be aware of. This has 4 scheduled milestones and a substantial completion date. The substantial completion date is August 8th, 2025, with the scheduled milestones being as follows. Permitting and submittal prep, the milestone, a date of March 31st, 2025. Work may commence no sooner than February 11th, 2025. Our scheduled milestone 2 for this project would be the mobilization and site control for Area A, which we'll go over in the tech review slides. You may not start work prior to March 24th, 2025, and work must be completed by March 28th, 2025. Substantial completion, that's the overall completion of the project, not including the landscaping, as we'll see here momentarily, and the restoration. That's the associated work all the way from Narragansett to the west side of Mobile Avenue, which is better known as Area A. You'll start no sooner than April 1st, 2025, and complete by August 8th, 2025. The third scheduled milestone will involve Area B. That's from Mobile to Malvina. You'll start no sooner than August 8th, 2025, and finish by, you absolutely will finish by, November 30th, 2025. The final scheduled milestone is that landscaping I mentioned earlier. It'll be a fall planting schedule, so you'll start October 1st, 2025, and finish by that same November 30th, 2025 date. For this project, the LDs, or liquidated damages, are $1,500 per day for failure to achieve SC, substantial completion, and $500 per day for failure to achieve each of the 4 milestone dates. The availability of documents is, as always, replete. We have a number of ways for you to get book 1, book 2, and book 3. Of course, you can go to the current opportunities page on the PBC website and download the documents. We also have an online plan room with our printer, Crossroads. If you need to reach out to them, you can reach Christy Weber at orders@crossroads.com, or you can call the phone number 630-963-4700. They also have the tech specs, the construction drawings, and any addenda that may be issued. All addenda, if any, that will be issued for this project will also be available on the current opportunities page. We also encourage our assist agencies to work with each of their individual memberships. We're very big on minority and women-owned business participation in our projects, and one of the ways we put our money where our mouth is we have relationships with these 18 assist agencies. We highly encourage you to partner with the assist agencies, to reach out to them, to work with each of their memberships to identify possible work for this project. The tech review meeting will immediately follow this meeting, hopefully before 10:30 if I can make my usual schedule. No site visit has been scheduled for this project, Berry Avenue. However, just because there hasn't been a site visit doesn't mean you're not responsible for becoming familiar with the project. And your inability to do that does not relieve or alter your responsibility for completing the work as required by the contract documents. Any RFIs need to be sent directly to me. I'm the sole point of contact, james.borkman@cityofchicago.org. Current deadline for the RFIs, January 28th, which is next Tuesday, a week from yesterday, at 4 p.m. As of right now, no addenda have been issued for this project. The bid due date, as it stands currently, it's always subject to change via addenda, but the current due date and bid due time are Thursday, February 4th, 2025 at 11 a.m. All of our bid openings are streamed live on our YouTube and Facebook channels. They're also recorded, and you can look at the previous bid openings on our YouTube channel. All of those links are available on the current opportunities page, as well as the day of the bid opening. There will be a banner you can click on at pbcchicago.com. I know a lot of people get frustrated because they click on the banner and then nothing is happening. We wait until slightly after 11 to start to allow people time to refresh their browser feed so they can tune in live. We don't start right at 11. We want to make sure everyone's available to see the unsealing of the bids live. So always remember to refresh your browser and your YouTube account as you're looking for our live feed. I'm doing the clicking, refresh. Okay, guys. All bids for the PBC are now received via electronic submission. For these projects, we need one complete copy of the bid document, which is our book one, instructions to bidders. Any original signatures need to be in blue ink. We also accept digital signatures. We need your bid bond, and we also need the master bid form. That master bid form is available for download in any of the methods that we've previously mentioned, and that includes the master bid tab, the schedule of prices, and the award criteria sheet. We need those in both Excel and PDF formats. A lot of people ask why. Well, the Excel, I want to make sure that the math that has been automatically calculated that we put in is actually correct, so you're not getting incorrect numbers as part of your bid. And number two, the PDF will be used to formulate your contract if you are the lowest responsible bidder. Any of the PDF documents that you submit to the PBC need to be submitted in a searchable form. So don't scan your PDF documents to us. They need to be searchable. We understand that there are various pages in the PDF that require you to scan them and are not searchable. Those are the signature pages of your PDF document. Perfectly acceptable. We have no problem with that. But the majority of the document needs to remain searchable. Why? Well, people who are interested in these bids and want to look them up at a later date should have the option to Control F and search the document for keywords, phrases, and information. So we want to ensure we remain the most transparent agency in city county government. And to do that, we ask that you assist us by ensuring that the PDF document you submit is a searchable PDF. Whenever you submit your bid, you'll submit it to two email addresses. One, james.borkman@cityofchicago.org, and two, pbc-procurement@cityofchicago.org. Please note that hyphen, pbc-procurement@cityofchicago.org. This is to ensure in case it gets kicked back from one email, we still have a record copy from the other. If for some reason you're unable to submit your documents electronically, you can send a request in writing to my attention as the Director of Procurement, and I will consider allowing you to submit a hard copy submission. The pre-award meeting for this, for the apparent lowest responsible bidder, where we review the documents that you submitted with you, we ask you to invite all of your proposed minority and women subs so that we can have individual conversations with them, or at least Patrice can have an individual conversation with them. That's currently scheduled for Monday, February 6th, 2025 at 10:30 a.m. That's a virtual meeting. There's no need to attend in person. It's anticipated that the award for this project will go to the PBC's February board meeting. If you are the successful GC, we'll need a compliant payment and performance bond and COI within 7 days of notice of award. I'm briefly going to highlight some key components of Book 1 and Book 2 for everyone's information. Right now, the estimated construction budget for this, you can find Book 1, page 4, between $4 and $4.4 million. The mandatory project staffing requirements are listed on page 5 of Book 1. Scheduling software requirements can be found on page 6. The LDs that I mentioned previously are also on page 6. The prevailing wage rates are on page 7, as well as a hyperlink directly to the Illinois Department of Labor's prevailing wage site is actually found on page 43. PBC highly encourages you to joint venture with a smaller firm. We love to see joint ventures. We love including M&W contractors wherever the opportunity presents itself. To effectuate that, we include in Book 1 a Schedule B, which is a joint venture affidavit. This joint venture affidavit would need to be completed by the joint venture. It can be found on page 28. We'd also need a copy of the JV agreement between the firms that are joint venturing, as well as a certification letter from the minority or women-owned certified firm. As a reminder, and Patrice will talk about this in more detail momentarily, we only accept certification from the City of Chicago and Cook County. This is the bid form for this project. It's very straightforward. See Berry Avenue listed here. You'll see the project and contract information listed up at the top. This is the grand total base bid, and this is your grand total award criteria. So how do you enter this number for your base work? Well, these are unit pricing contracts. In unit pricing contracts, Guess what you need to provide? That's right, your unit price. Gold star to everyone on the call today. I heard you all say that out loud. For these contracts, you simply enter your unit price. This will automatically populate the cost column. The cost column will then add, and the total will appear here. That total will then automatically appear here for the base work only on this project on the main bid tab. As a reminder, there are 3 bid tabs across the bottom. Make sure that you click on the Berry Avenue bid tab to enter your information in the schedule of prices sheet. Once that's complete, make sure you enter your surety information and your bidder's information. We'll need the name and address of your surety, as well as the firm name and the date. And finally, you'll go through and enter the award criteria information for the award criteria formula. The maximum you can enter for minority journey worker, apprentice, and laborer is 70%, represented by a decimal of 0.7. That will then actually calculate your total to the award criteria figure here. The maximum you may enter for female apprentice, laborer, and journey worker is 0.15, which you can enter here. You'll also need to enter your bidder's information on that sheet. This will then automatically populate back to this grand total award criteria, line 6. These sheets have been very effective for all of these projects. We've had no issue with them, so I do not anticipate any issues for this project. The basis of award for this contract will be made to the lowest responsible bidder, submitting the lowest grand total award criteria figure. It's line 6, whose corresponding grand total base bid, which was line 5, is within the available funds and is otherwise responsive to all requirements of the CDs. You're required to fill out the entire bid form to be considered responsive. And we remind you that we reserve the right to reject any bids wherever such rejection is in the best interest of the commission, and will automatically reject any materially unbalanced bids. I'm going to turn it over to compliance so they can highlight some key components of our contract here with Berry Avenue. Patrice, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Again, this is Patrice Dahl, PBC Compliance, and for the Berry Street project, the MBE WBE goals are 26% MBE, 6% WBE. We only accept certification from City of Chicago or Cook County. They must be certified in the scope of work that they're performing. And for additional MBE WBE information, you can find it in Book 2, Article 23. As James mentioned earlier, the award criteria figure, the maximum is 70% minority journey workers, 70% minority apprentice, and 70% labor. 15% female journey workers, 15% female apprentice, 15% female labor. You do not have to commit to the maximum. You should decide what the minority journey apprentice and labor award criteria figures you will be able to meet if awarded the contract. Because if you do not make those requirements, there are liquidated damages assessed to your shortfalls. Also, there's a 7.5% community hiring for this project and 15% city residency, meaning that those award criteria figures, community hiring, and city residency, that is based on the total hours worked on the project collectively with all of the contractors and subcontractors. This is the community area map where that 7.5% of those hours worked must come from this community area identified on this map. We use B2G Now as our payment tracking system for our MWBE compliance monitoring. For established business, which is a MBE or WBE that is in the process of graduating from the program, that is the credit amount you will receive. So when you receive their certification information, it identifies if they should receive 75%, 50%, or 25% credit as an established business MBE or WBE. Manufacturers receive 100% credit, suppliers 60% credit, and brokers 0. You must submit a Schedule D as well as a Schedule C with your bid package. The Schedule D should be completed by the general contractor. The Schedule D identifies the credit amount for the MBE or WBE, not always the contract amount. As mentioned before, if the MBE is established business and they're in their second year, they will only receive 50% credit. So if their contract value is $100,000, then $50,000 should appear as a credit amount for the MBE participation. The Schedule C should be completed by the subcontractors, and this should have their total contract value. So if the M or WBE is a supplier and their contract value is $100,000, the $100,000 should appear on the Schedule C, and the GC should put the $60,000 on the Schedule D, which is the 60% credit amount that they are allowed. The subcontracting levers must be complete if you are subcontracting any work to be performed, not supplies, but any work to be performed on the project, and it is a non-M or WBE and you put a percentage amount there, they cannot receive credit. For instance, if they're doing 10% of the scope of work of the contract value of $100,000 for an MBE, $100,000 should appear on the Schedule C, and a credit value of $90,000 should appear on the Schedule D. If they are subletting work, scope of work to a MBE or WBE, they can receive full credit. But please make sure that the subcontracting levers are complete and you have the correct contract value on the Schedule C and the correct credit amount on the Schedule D. Thank you, James.
Thank you, Patrice. I am the sole point of contact for this contract. I'm the contract officer. Again, my contact information is present on the screen. James Borkman, james.borkman@cityofchicago.org. With that, I'll introduce Tom Considine from Civil Tech, who will take us through the technical aspect of the Berry Avenue project. Tom?
Thank you, James. As James mentioned earlier, our location is Berry Avenue from North Narragansett Avenue to North Malvina Avenue. We'll go over the existing conditions, the proposed conditions, and some local coordination items. Our roadway varies from 28 to 31 feet with 3 intersections in our scope and our project limits: Narragansett, Mobile, and Malvina. Similar with most of our WPA project is the pavement conditions typically not great on these. And additionally, there is no curb and gutter on either side. For some of the end treatments, I mean, there's a school, Steinmetz College Prep, I believe. It's on the south side of Berry, and there's available parking, and these vehicles exit with no curb or carriage walk on that one side. So in winter conditions, it could be somewhat hazardous if you can't see where you're stopping. As well as some flooding at low points along the roadway. As our typical civil plan includes removal and replacement of all the driveway and alley aprons, as well as we have this will have normal crown with drainage structures on both sides, and of a legend over there covers a number of our proposed items. Deal with a normal crown on this roadway varies from about 1.4 to 4%. So this project towards Malvina, we have a concrete curb delineated enclave that we will use 4-inch white striping to stripe out angle parking stalls. We have pavement marking signage plan that shows all the different details and dimensions for this, and the intersections with the school being nearby, we will be using the 24-inch continental striping at all 3. This project will have a full sidewalk and carriage walk replacement on both sides. We do have ADA ramps on both the intersections of Narragansett and Malvina. At the limits will have full depth pavement for the curb line extended, and then it will be resurfacing in the intersection. So we'll only be doing half of the ramps. So we'll be doing the 2 on the west side of Malvina and the 2 on the east side of Narragansett. That's not shown in this slide, as well as the 4 ramps at Mobile. Our detention design is our sewer design is we're keeping the existing sewer and we're going to line the 12 and 15-inch sewers, and we're going to put in a detention system with varying. We have a 36, 42, and 48-inch pipes. They vary between RCP and ductile iron for different separation requirements. There is no connection. The system starts at the alley just east of Narragansett, and it will connect in at Mobile and then again at Melvina. Now we have 9 catch basins, 7 manholes, and 4 inlets with this design. Our water main plan, we're going to replace the 8-inch main and abandon the other one in place. We have 30 lead service lines. There's quite a bit of work related to that, as well as hydrants at Narragansett and Mobile. We do have one type 2 support that required a structural calculations at station 104. We have a 4-inch service line that's going to cross over our, I believe it's a 48-inch or 42-inch ductile iron pipe for our sewer design right there. Yes. Our maintenance of traffic plan. I know James mentioned area work zone, area A and B earlier, the requirements. We'll have 2 stages. Stage 1 will be a full closure from Narragansett to Mobile. This will be highlighted with that area A, and then that'll be the work zone within those limits. Our second stage will close the other half from Mobile to Melvina. This will be area B. And it will detour the traffic around. And that will be a full closure that'll give contractor safety to operate and do all the underground utility work necessary for this contract. Thank you. Lighting. Typical, as consistent with our WPA design, is the Cobra Head and the Acorn luminaire. We'll have these staggered, I believe, up and down Berry Avenue. Landscaping, there's quite a bit of trees, 41 proposed trees, tree legend, and they're all called out with different initials along the plan. The plans, we'll replace the Parkway sod on both the north and south sides. Past Mobile, that is the location where it's all angle parking. So that'll just be parking at that location. The other 3 highlighted areas will have trees and sod, and that'll all be locations and different types of trees are shown on the plans.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
At this point, I am happy to open it up for any questions.
The only question I have for FH Passion, is this a mandatory pre-bid?
No, this is not, Jim. This is a non-mandatory pre-bid and tech review session.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. That was an easy question. Does anyone else have any questions? Preferably just as easy. Okay. Well, this will conclude the pre-bid and tech review meeting for the Chicago Department of Transportation Work Progress Administration street reconstruction project located on Berry Avenue, contract C1619. Thank you very much for attending. Have a good day, everybody.
Great. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Thank you, James.
Thank
Thank you, James, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
you.